What's up, cool people? How's it going? Welcome to another study stream Saturday. And, yeah, I, I think I'm just gonna, give it a couple minutes maybe till 4 o'clock to see who all might hop in before we really get things started. But, in case you didn't really see the title, I'm gonna be studying, I think, Deuteronomy 5 and 6. It'll be at least those chapters. I might tack in chapter 7 just because. Hey, what's up, Al? So, yeah, I did look a little bit at the chapters in question for today's Bible study, and yeah, chapter 5 is mid-length. 6 is a bit short. 7 is also a bit short, which is why I might do a third one. I don't know. I'm a bit further ahead on the gaming stuff than Bible study stuff, but both are pretty far ahead in terms of, like, video upload backlog. So, I don't know. I might just keep the Bible studies as they are and maybe, like, tone it back on the gaming in a future week or something. Anyway, to answer your question, Al, I'm doing all right. Pretty much same as normal. Nothing too particularly different from, I guess, Thursday was the last time you saw me. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Nothing's really different as of yet. Tomorrow I'm doing maybe a bit more extra with, oh, yeah, right. Because you have people that are either visiting you or you're visiting them or something like that, if I remember right. So, okay, well, in that case, I might just get things rolling with the Bible study stuff so you don't miss too much of it there, Al. So, let me, just in case, I will pop out the Kick chat just to have that there available. Oh, right. Friday's your birthday. You're having the, like, tea party thing. That's what it was. Okay, come on. Trying to get a decent size for the Kick chat window thing. Anyway. There we go. Okay, Bible study time. And, of course, we're right where we left things off. This, I guess, is supposed to be the, like, Moses' second address to, the newer generation of Israelites. So, yeah, chapter 5 actually isn't that long either. But, still, I don't think a third chapter is really necessary the way that I've been going through things. At least not yet. Might be, like, months and months in the future when I take a week off. But that's beside the point. Okay, so I think I might just get rolling with stuff. So here we go. So, we are diving into Deuteronomy chapter 5 now, and we had, kind of a summary of events from Moses, as well as, like, then a general encouragement to follow God's instructions, and I guess his instructions that he's about to give them, which, are, at least if this is any indication, his instructions to them are pretty much just going to be, or mostly going to be, him kind of repeating what God's instructions were before to the older generation. That I guess it's not too surprising that he wants to make absolutely sure that the new generation of Israelites have heard those commandments that God gave the older generation before they go into the promised land. So, think that's about all the context that's needed for this. So, here we go. Deuteronomy, chapter 5. Moses called all the people of Israel together and said, "Listen carefully, Israel. Hear the decrees and regulations I am giving you today, so you may learn them and obey them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us at Mount Sinai. The Lord did not make this covenant with our ancestors, but with all of us who are alive today. At the mountain, the Lord spoke to you face to face from the heart of the fire. I stood as an intermediary between you and the Lord, for you were afraid of the fire and did not want to approach the mountain. He spoke to me, and I passed his words on to you. This is what he said." And we'll get to that in a second. So again, he uses the you, like a collective you, obviously, but like he's saying it as if, these things were said directly to these people, but it wasn't directly to these people. It was to the generation before them. So, I don't know. I guess just because of the use of that word in this context being a bit different than the typical context you would use that, I think he's, again, just using the word you in reference to the overall people group, as in the Israelites. Not saying, like, you exact living people who I am currently talking to now. Some of them might have heard this stuff. They just would have been really, really young then. But, yeah. Anyway. Had they all actually really heard this before and been able to understand it before, it doesn't make so much sense that he would be repeating this stuff now. That's why I feel like I should clarify. So, he's pretty much just going to be repeating what was said at Mount Sinai, at least in this bit that he's about to say. Also, Mount Sinai was also known as Mount Horeb. Just another name for it, I guess, from the original Hebrew. Probably because, again, their names for places were very literal, and so Horeb probably had a different meaning than Sinai, but both could have applied to the same place in this case. Yeah, I guess it could. I guess it could be a almost hypothetical you, as in, yeah, like nowadays when we say, okay, so you know how you do this and that, and then this happens, trying to explain something. We don't actually mean you, that person, but like you almost as a general, like, when people do this stuff. But anyway. Okay, so now we're about to get into the words that Moses is passing on here. Starting with verse 6. This is now Moses saying the words that God said before. So, Moses is speaking, but quoting God here. So these are basically God's direct words. Anyway, verse 6. I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other god but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations of those who reject me. but I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. Okay, pausing there real quick. I know we talked about the whole idol thing just a chapter or two ago, but this is, I think, kind of more so like, not so much saying don't try and make any images of me, although like really we can't accurately represent God in an image anyway. But definitely don't make idols out of anything else, because everything else is either a false god, in their belief, or it's something I have made, which is obviously lesser than me. So worship the creator, not the creation, and don't worship any other deities out there that you might encounter in other, people groups or, places that you're maybe about to go into. And he basically says, if you don't follow me, or you even, it uses the word reject here. If you reject me, then not only are things not going to go well for you, but like this is a serious offense. So like it will have ripple effects multiple generations down the line. But if you show loyalty to me and obey my commands, then things will go well for you. I will have grace and love for thousands of generations. Many, many multiple. Which makes you wonder if we've even reached that many generations ahead. You kind of wouldn't think so. But anyway. Okay. Go ahead with your question, Al. I just wanted to get those thoughts out of the way first. Footnote there just says, for thousands of those. Okay, so that might be a little bit different than 1,000 generations. 1,000 generations implies a whole lot longer time frame than just saying thousands, because that could just be thousands of people. There were already well over thousands of people just among the Israelites there. He just said that kids are blamed for the sins of their parents. What if the parents in next generation don't believe in God, but then the generation after that does? Okay, so first off, he says he lays the sins of the parents upon the children. By that, I think he means more so like the consequences of rejecting me and disobeying me are passed on multiple generations. It's not that God blames the younger generation for that sin, but the consequences of it have ripple effects for multiple generations. Just like okay, so as somewhat of an example that doesn't quite fit but is similar enough, like let's say there's a family where the father is an alcoholic. That obviously has a significant effect on the children in that family, because the family dynamic is completely altered due to the alcoholism of the father. And then, because his children have been affected in that way, their mentality and their approach to things are skewed by that and thus affect their children. And so, that's, I think, more so what's going on here. Not that God blames the future generations for their parents' sins, but that consequences can be felt multiple generations down the line. And it usually takes some time, usually takes a couple of generations to even really have a realistic chance at any kind of quote-unquote fixing the previous sin that was started, back with that original father who was an alcoholic. But in terms of the greater question, we're What if the parents in next generation don't believe in God, but then the generation after that does? Is that believer shunned by God for 2 generations of not believing? I would say no, because, I mean, there might be ripple effects or consequences, extra difficulties, for the child or for the generation who does believe, but because they believe, as it says in verse 10, God lavishes unfailing love on those who love me and obey my commands. Depending on the version you read it's either thousands of those or 1,000 generations. So either way, it's, God still shows compassion and love for those who believe, who obey, but there might still be some ripple effects from the prior generations and their disbelief. There might be, just kind of almost learned bad habits or ways of thinking that have been affected by the previous generations. So, I don't think this is meant to, like, when God says he lays sins of the parents on their children, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations, like, I don't think that's supposed to be, oh yeah, this is guaranteed. Every single sinner, is cursing their descendants for 4 generations down the line, at minimum guaranteed. No, I don't think that's what he's saying here. I think it's more so just, again, sort of the consequences and the ripple effects of those sins. And yeah, I'm not really sure how else to word it that might clarify that more, but, like, I mean, nobody lives a perfect life, aside from Jesus. Nobody has ever lived a perfect life on earth, aside from Jesus. And so, like, we all realize also that we have things that are kind of habits we've developed from childhood or ways of thinking that, are due to certain experiences that we've had, many of which stem from, family experiences and relationships and those kinds of things. So, again, while we may believe in God and have God's favor, we still kind of inherit some of the issues, or at least ripple effects from the issues that, our parents and grandparents even struggled with. So anyway, I hope that answers your question decently enough. It's based on your comment there, Owl. It seems like that is, at least a somewhat decent explanation. But yeah, I should also say I do not claim to be an expert on these things. However, like, the part of believing in God, I am confident in saying that trumps any, or overrules any, any inherited curse from prior generations or anything like that. Not that, the blessing of believing immediately removes or cancels out the curse from prior generations, but then you also have the blessing of God, hopeful, likely, I would say, community of believers who you can share your struggles with. You also have prayer that you can use to ask God for help with those issues that have been inherited, as well as the ones you create for yourself, because again, none of us are perfect. But anyway, okay. Lest I continue talking in circles, I think we've covered that point decently enough. So, then it is time to move on to verse 11. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. I find it interesting how that just says to misuse his name, not specifically take his name in vain, as you may have heard from other translations, namely the King James Bible. Like, people almost assume taking God's name in vain is a particular kind of thing where you might say, like, oh my God, in relation to a certain event or whatever is going on. But I kind of like this translation better, where it says don't misuse the name of God, because there are other ways to misuse God's name that are honestly even more harmful than just, speaking it flippantly. Anyway, verse 12. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your oxen and donkeys and other livestock, and any foreigners living among you. All your male and female servants must rest as you do. Remember that you were once slaves in Egypt, but the Lord your God brought you out with his strong hand and powerful arm. That is why the Lord your God has commanded you to rest on the Sabbath day. Yeah, so, also there are obvious benefits to, having at least a day each week to relax and take it easy. Because if you don't do that, that leads to a thing we call burnout. And possibly other actual, physically harmful effects. Like, if you don't stop working, your brain might be actually, affected negatively by the constant stress, for lack of a better word, that you're putting on yourself, working all the time. And I don't necessarily mean stress as in, I don't know what to do, or, worried kind of stress. That's not necessarily all that stress is. Stress is, in this context, just something that, is a pressing thing that you need to take care of, or even just something that calls you to any kind of action is a stressor. I don't know why I emphasize the O so much there, but it is something that adds stress to you because it is calling you to some sort of response or action. But occasionally taking a break, resting, not only does it give you that break and, alleviate some of those negative effects from constantly just working, but then it also gives you a chance to pause, reflect, hopefully, pray or read or seek God in some way. And I realize many people, myself included in a way, are not very good at following this. We tend to just keep doing things. We're kind of caught up in the hustle of making a living in this day and age, so it seems. Anyway. Okay. So, these are all, by the way, different commands from the Ten Commandments. Like, those ones that were written on the stone tablets and whatnot. First is not to have any other god. I guess second is don't make an idol. Third was don't misuse God's name. Fourth one is observe the Sabbath day. And then we continue on in verse 16. Honor your father and mother, as the Lord your God commanded you. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's wife. You must not covet your neighbor's house or land, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. Gonna pause there real quick. So, honoring father and mother, I guess, would be commandment 5. 6 is don't murder. 7, no adultery. 8, don't steal. 9, don't testify falsely. 10, don't covet. And covet, by the way, is more than just a simple, like, I kind of wish I had that. Like, sure would be nice. No. Covet is like taking that, maybe not to the extreme, but to a significant extent where it's like you're actually considering doing things you shouldn't to take possession of that which is not yours. At least that's my understanding of it anyway. The others are fairly obvious, so I don't think those require too much explanation. Honor your father and mother. So, honor doesn't necessarily mean, especially, if you're an adult, honor doesn't necessarily mean obey everything that they say. Just so we're clear. Honor, at least have some sort of respect for, your parents, even if your relationship is strained, even if they're not following God and you are, like, at least, treat them with a little extra humility, decency, and yeah. That's what I take it to mean when it says honor your father and mother. Because I guess I think of it more like respect. You can respect someone without necessarily just like catering to their every whim, or, even just simply like obeying and following everything that they say or do. So anyway, glad you explained that. It's human nature to want things that you don't have. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all can kind of want things, at least to some effect, but, like, it becomes problematic when you start doing things different, or your mood is significantly affected by a lack of having a certain thing because you want it that badly. Anyway, okay. Moving on to verse 22. The Lord spoke these words to all of you assembled there at the foot of the mountain. He spoke with a loud voice from the heart of the fire, surrounded by clouds and deep darkness. This was all he said at that time, and he wrote his words on 2 stone tablets and gave them to me. But when you heard the voice from the heart of the darkness, while the mountain was blazing with fire, all your tribal leaders and elders came to me. They said, "Look, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and greatness, and we have heard his voice from the heart of the fire. Today we have seen that God can speak to us humans, and yet we live. But now, why should we risk death again? If the Lord our God speaks to us again, we will certainly die and be consumed by this awesome fire. Can any living thing hear the voice of the living God from the heart of the fire as we did and yet survive? Go yourself and listen to what the Lord our God says. Then come and tell us everything he tells you, and we will listen and obey. Yeah, that doesn't really... I feel like that didn't really work out as well as they hoped it would. Struggle with that honor father and mother one. Father isn't work. Yeah. Yeah, again, like, I acknowledge and understand that there are some situations where, honor and respect is, like, A, not easy, and B, it might kind of look a little different. It might be more like, you want to respect them by leaving them alone, because if you're with them in the midst of the things that they're doing wrong, then, you're either going to do something bad yourself, or, like, you're going to get wrapped up in what they're doing that's bad, or you'll do something then to further strain the relationship. And that's not what God wants. I don't think that's really what much of anybody wants. So really, it's probably better keeping your distance, at least for the most part, in some situations. I get that. Anyway, as to these verses that we just read, I kind of get the sense that a lot of this, that the people were saying to Moses at Mount Sinai, of their concern that they wouldn't live if they heard God's voice again. Like, God never really said to them that they would die from hearing his voice. That was something that they kind of projected onto God because they were scared of the just awesome, display that was shown, and probably to some effect the power of his voice, and the fact that it looked like a big storm kind of thing with fire in the midst of it. And so, yeah. It's understandable that they were afraid of God, but, like, I think they might have taken that fear a bit too far in, like, not wanting to directly hear God's voice again. Because now they've just kind of, triangulated the situation and made it more complex, with Moses being kind of almost forced to be the middleman. And then later on they go back on that and be like, well, doesn't God speak with us too? At least some of the other leaders say that. So, like, do you want to be directly hearing from God or not? Anyway, enough of a tangent on that whole thing. But yeah. Also, confirmation that, yes, these were the 10 Commandments written on the stone tablets earlier. So, yeah, anyway. I guess that's it for my thoughts on that section. A few more verses and we'll wrap up the chapter. Verse 28. The Lord heard the request you made to me, and he said, I have heard what the people said to you, and they are right. Oh, that they would always have hearts like this, that they might fear me and obey all my commands. If they did, they and their descendants would prosper forever. Go and tell them, return to your tents. But you stand here with me, so I can give you all my commands, decrees, and regulations. You must teach them to the people, so they can obey them in the land I am giving them as their possession." So Moses told the people, "You must be careful to obey all the commands of the Lord your God, following his instructions in every detail. Stay on the path that the Lord your God has commanded you to follow. Then you will live long and prosperous lives in the land you are about to enter and occupy." So, now God's saying, though, that they're right. Just right to be fearful, or, I mean, that they might fear and obey all my commands. So, it's maybe implied that that's more so what God's saying they're right about. But I still kind of hesitate to say that he was, desiring then not to speak to them directly. Yes, the fear of God was a good response, especially given the display that they saw in front of them with all the fire and whatnot, and getting worried about being consumed by God's fire. But yeah, I don't know. That's one I'm not gonna claim to be totally sure on, because I mean, nowadays, especially as Christians, we try and hear from God directly, or at least as directly as we can, all the time. That's what we kind of hope for when, following God and wanting to discern his will for our lives. More specifically than just general commandments like these 10 commandments, or like love the Lord your God, love your neighbor as yourself, those kinds of things. But yeah, now God did say that if anybody looked directly upon him, that they would die. That was definitely said. So in a way, it's even almost more generally speaking, perhaps related to hearing from God as well. You could maybe argue that hearing too much of, just the awesome, unfathomable nature of God directly might have also just, kind of in a way blown their minds and kind of somehow caused them to die in that way. I mean, I know it's possible to, get overwhelmed by certain things, which could cause things like, heart attacks, fainting, all sorts of, physical, medical complications like that. So I guess there could be some truth to that effect. But, yeah. Also, yeah, the way that it's worded doesn't really help much in this case. Because, you get examples that, if you took this really super literally, word for word, as absolute truth, then it's well, there are plenty of other times later on in the Bible when this becomes, directly false. So, no. That's why I am not a biblical literalist, where I assume every single word needs to be taken completely just at face value, totally literal, and that's that. I tend to focus more on just the general attitude or spirit of it, you might say, rather than the exact wording. But anyway, so long story short, from that point forward, though, God spoke to Moses and Moses spoke to the people. People didn't hear directly from God. At least, for a while. Anyway, and all of that was just to say, obey this stuff and it'll help things go well for you in the land you're about to enter and occupy, the promised land. So anyway, I think that about wraps it up for Deuteronomy chapter 5. Okay, recording stopped. Get me some water. Move on to the next chapter, which is a bit shorter for sure. But I mean, maybe not that much shorter, actually, because some of these verses in here are not that long. Just like a simple phrase or sentence, basically. But anyway. Alrighty, back to it. Here we go. Okay. So now we are looking at Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I realize it's saying these right off the bat. That might be referring to what's about to be said or to what was said in the previous chapter. So maybe keep that in mind as we continue on. But yeah, further, I guess, discussion. Now I think this is more so Moses expanding upon or, adding his own thoughts and encouragement to the commands previously stated. Especially the ones in chapter 5. But anyway. Okay, so here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 6. These are the commands, decrees, and regulations that the Lord your God commanded me to teach you. You must obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. And you and your children and grandchildren must fear the Lord your God as long as you live. If you obey all his decrees and commands, you will enjoy a long life. Listen closely, Israel, and be careful to obey. Then all will go well with you, and you will have many children in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. So, honestly, that felt like just a bunch of different ways of saying, all right, obey these commands, and things will go well. That's really all that was saying there. So, also encouraging them to pass it along to their descendants so that things will go well with them. Okay, verse 4. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your foreheads as reminders. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. So, quick kind of tangent. The whole love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. That was not first said by Jesus in the New Testament. I know that's where we tend to quote it from more often, but he was quoting this verse here. Deuteronomy 6:5. So, yeah, just saying. I mean, granted, in that context, the teachers or leaders or whoever were asking Jesus what he thought the greatest commandment was, and he pointed to this. Because essentially, loving God with all your heart, soul, and strength means, following these commandments as best as you can. And not only that, not only seeking to obey the laws, but seeking God, seeking to spend time with God, seeking God's wisdom, all that kind of stuff. Because as much as some people might make it seem like the commands are the most important part, they're not. God himself is more important than his commands. The Pharisees in New Testament times had issues with, doing that. And there are, I would say, modern day Pharisees who kind of have issues with that, where they tend to focus more on the commands rather than actually seeking God. But I digress. Tangent over. Footnote there. Or, the Lord our God is one Lord. Or, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Or, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Rather than, I guess, saying the Lord alone. I almost kind of halfway, before I read that footnote, expected it to be like, saying something about the Lord and its actual Hebrew word being Yahweh, that kind of stuff. But, no. So, I mean, yeah, that has a slightly different meaning to it, saying, that God is one, but that also, by saying that God is one, or that he is one Lord, or that the Lord is one, or anything like that, it's also saying that, he's the one and only God. No other proclaimed deities are the Lord. So kind of an implication or reminder once again not to follow other gods. And then in terms of all the repetition and writing things down in various places, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have done that stuff literally. But again, the point was more so just to, be so, driven in your, learning and repetition of these things that, do everything you can to make sure you don't forget them. Remind yourself of them as often as you can, in as many ways as you need to. And I mean, yeah, we might not so much literally, write these things on our foreheads nowadays, but, who might wear a hat that has John 3:16 on it, or some other kind of thing to that effect. You might wear other clothes that would have, references to God's commands on them. It's also somewhat common to, have a little placard or some sort of, words on a wall in your house that might, reflect those commands, or, something to that effect. Again, the point was, have it around you everywhere. Don't forget it. Remind yourself often. So anyway, verse 10. The Lord your God will soon bring you into the land he swore to give you when he made a vow to your ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a land with large, prosperous cities that you did not build. The houses will be richly stocked with goods you did not produce. You will draw water from cisterns you did not dig, and you will eat from vineyards and olive trees that you did not plant. When you have eaten your fill in this land, be careful not to forget the Lord who rescued you from slavery in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and serve him. When you take an oath, you must use only his name. And that last bit, I think, was another way of just saying, okay, remember to follow God, not other idols, deities, whatever. And I think, in general, this section is kind of a reminder that, okay, yeah, when you go into this land that God's about to give you, like, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't really work for. Life is going to be easy in a lot of ways. But don't let that, make you forget about God's blessings. That God is the one who is ultimately giving you these things. Anyway, I figure I'll just keep the summary simple for that section. Because, a bunch of the examples there are really just that. They're examples of the broader point that I just made about, not falling away because things get easy. So, verse 14. You must not worship any of the gods of neighboring nations, for the Lord your God, who lives among you, is a jealous God. His anger will flare up against you, and he will wipe you from the face of the earth. You must not test the Lord your God, as you did when you complained at Massah. You must diligently obey the commands of the Lord your God, all the laws and decrees he has given you. Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight, so all will go well with you. Then you will enter and occupy the good land that the Lord swore to give to your ancestors. You will drive out all the enemies living in the land, just as the Lord said you would. Okay, so I get a feeling there are a couple of different uses of the English word you in here. Because in this section where it's saying his anger will flare up against you and he will wipe you from the face of the earth. Like, God promised that he would never completely wipe his people off the face of the earth. So clearly this is not the collective you anymore. I think this is more so the, actual specific, you individually. If you start worshiping other gods, you, O hearer of this, specifically, God will be angry with you, and he will wipe you from the face of the earth. And I think same use of it for the next verse, and for verse 17. And then I think maybe we get back to the collective you with, this phrase here. But anyway, all that to once again say, don't worship other gods, follow the Lord, and things will go well. You start worshiping these other gods, not going to go so well. Guy's going to be mad at you, and you're going to have some big problems. Okay. Then I guess we're on to verse 20, and I'll probably just read through to the end of the chapter, give my final thoughts afterwards. Verse 20. In the future, your children will ask you, what is the meaning of these laws, decrees, and regulations that the Lord our God has commanded us to obey? Then you must tell them, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, but the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his strong hand. The Lord did miraculous signs and wonders before our eyes. dealing terrifying blows against Egypt and Pharaoh and all his people. He brought us out of Egypt so he could give us this land he had sworn to give our ancestors. And the Lord our God commanded us to obey all these decrees and to fear him so he can continue to bless us and preserve our lives, as he has done to this day. For we will be counted as righteous when we obey all the commands the Lord our God has given us. I wonder how little, considering people these days convert religions or don't worship and still... Yeah, yeah, that's something, I mean... First off, he was talking, specifically to his people in this case, not just anybody. God wasn't necessarily going to literally wipe everybody else off the face of the earth. Although, if, Revelation and other prophecies that have yet to occur are to be believed, that will kind of eventually happen. So, even if not right away, that's eventually going to be literal. And there's no real time frame mentioned in there. So, I mean, on a technicality, you could technically still say that this isn't wrong. Even if it, hasn't happened yet. Because there's going to be, a whole bunch of final judgment stuff, and... could be a threat, hoping they believe it enough not to test. Yeah, and that was also kind of one of the points being made here. Don't get testy with God. Don't dabble in other religions just, to try them out, or just because you're, feeling like you don't need God anymore, or that, belief in God isn't, exciting at the moment or anything like that. These final verses here are really, again, just encouragement to remind future generations that, these laws are to be obeyed. These are coming from the Lord our God, who delivered us from Egypt and did all these amazing things that cause us to, appreciate, even love the Lord our God, but also fear him, because these were some miraculous, yes, signs, but also terrifying signs of power. Also, verse 25 there, once again, we will be counted as righteous when we obey all the commands the Lord our... Which, that might be a big reason why some people get so caught up on the rules and following the rules. Now, of course, modern day, the game has changed, so to speak. We have a different relationship with God because Jesus. But at least as things were for the Israelites at this time, God wanted obedience and righteousness from them, which really could only be demonstrated by, love and dedication to God and to following his commands. But anyway, I guess that about wraps it up for chapter 6. Yeah, I was giving myself a second there to see if I had any other thoughts as I read these last couple of verses again, but no, not really. So yeah, That's it for Deuteronomy chapter 6. I just accidentally refreshed the page because I had last clicked the web browser tab and not OBS. Keyboard shortcuts for OBS can only work if OBS is the last thing you've clicked. Little behind the scenes bit of info there. So yeah, I do think I'll leave it off at that for the Bible study this week, because again, I don't need to go further ahead. But here's a little sneak peek. Privilege of Holiness. Interesting kind of title for the section there. But I assume it's going to talk about the benefits of following God. Anywho. Okie day. My shoulder's kind of itchy right now. I don't know why. Alrighty. So, about to shift over to video game stuff. I will take a quick break to fully do that shift. Although, Owl, if you have any other thoughts or questions that you want to ask, I mean, you could ask them right now or whenever you want to, as I'm doing other things. I am still open to, discussion on things, even while I'm not directly intentionally focused on Bible study stuff. But, yeah. Give me a minute to shift things over here, and I will be back with some more video games. Namely, more Yoku's Island Express, I'm thinking. Anyway, see you in a bit. Okay day. I am back with video games.
A game by Villa Gorilla.
Probably not going to stay a whole lot longer. I wanted to at least make it to... I totally understand if you need to get some sleep at this point. Or soon. But, your viewership, your comments, questions, all that stuff is still definitely appreciated there, Al. Okay, continue. Slot 0? Interesting numbering. Most games would start with slot 1, not slot 0. Anyway. Right, so... What was I supposed to do? I know ultimately I'm supposed to get to the, 3 people, you know, about different stuff. It's Sandro's toolbox. Oh, okay. But I think that's where Sandro is, right? No. Anyway. Heading out. Sleeping pillow starting to kick. Okay, yeah. No problem. Have a good night there, Al. I'll, hopefully see you next week. And, if I don't, hope your, birthday and the tea party and all that goes well. So, okay, where is my inventory? There's, like, an inventory that I'm supposed to have. I'm just trying to remember how to access it. No? That... Maybe not. Okay, I have to press X on this screen. Gotcha. It's, right, got the vacuum thing. Dive fish. Press A repeatedly to dive while swimming. Oh, yeah, there was all that stuff. Summons should be delivered to the 3 chieftains of Mokomon Island. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure I want to go back up here. Well, if I can go down in the water like this now, let's see what we have down here. Is that like a button of some sort? It kinda is. Okay, like, I was like stuck for a second there. Anyway. So I guess that was the first one that was recommended. Or that was the one that was suggested I go to first. So I guess I should head that way. Ooh. Hey, I can grab stuff down here. What is... Oh. I'm guessing that was just a 10th Wickerling there. Which, there was something I needed 10 Wickerlings for. And now that I have 10 of them, I can do that thing. But that was at a totally different spot. A. Right, not X. Okay, whatever. That's back there. I want to try to go this way. Oh, man. And now the yawning is kicking in. Mail. Mail for you. Hey, look at this. A beetle with a mailbag. This is the hideout of the Skull Gang. You lost or something? Message for Spina? Package, huh? Well, that's too bad, because Spina, our boss, gave me orders not to let anyone in today. So nothing personal, but I've got to dump you. Bye-bye. Okay. That is not normally what one means by getting dumped, but... Okay, warning. Boiling underbelly ahead. That looks like it requires a key that I do not have. Also, hold on. What up with this dude? Over here. I can't... Okay, maybe if I go from here... Trying to get inside the Skull Gang's hideout, huh? There's a back door through the cave to the right. Don't worry, I won't stop you. Just don't tell anyone I'm down here. I come here all the time to get out of work. Honestly, I think I did that voice halfway because I mistakenly read that character's name as Shush instead of just Sush, or whatever it actually is. Ooh, hello. Ooh, okay, I can move this. At least, kinda. Hey, there we go. Like, I kinda went back down here, though. Nope. Because I'm pretty sure the, like, the spinny thing there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Okay. I was just going about it entirely the wrong way. Also, was there something else back this direction? I guess not. Okay. Oh, man. Nope, that just stops me. Doesn't do anything helpful there. Okay. Yeah. Marrow Hill hideout. Huh? What are you doing in here? Only members of the Skull Gang are allowed inside the hideout. You better beat it before you get in trouble. Yeah, and what if I don't beat it? Alright, checkpoint. I don't know how you got in, but you better tell me why you're sneaking around on Skull Gang turf. Huh? Package for Spina. Why didn't you say so sooner? Spina is our boss. But you're out of luck. See, the pools in Marrow Hill have begun boiling. Boss went down to the boiling underbelly to fix it before we all end up cooked proper. The boss told us to wait for orders, but we haven't heard anything since. So tell you what, if you think you've got the guts for it, why don't you head after Spina into the boiling underbelly? It's a win-win, see? You get to deliver your letter, and at the same time, you can give the boss a hand. Here, I'll give you the key. You'll find the gate to the underbelly below our hideout. You can't miss it. Cool. So there's the key that I was looking for earlier. This key should open the gate to the boiling underbelly beneath the hideout, which is down that way. Okay, but first, what does that get me? Hello, person here. Hey, Beetle. Good fortunes come to those who hunt wickerlings. And I just happen to have this thing that could help someone find every wickerling in Marrow Hill. Do you want to buy the wickerling tracker for 300 fruit? I don't have 300 fruit. Well, ain't that just a mud stain on my white sheets? Had you figured for a buyer? What would happen if I went that way? Seemingly, not much. I might possibly, you know, like fall just off the map entirely. Where do you think you're going? Skulls only, so get lost. Nope. Not what I wanted there. Nope. Okay. I'm trying to get the fruit around here, but I guess not. Oh, also. Treasure chest with a bunch of fruit. Nice. Let me get myself a checkpoint here. Line starts here. No cutting. Line for what? I don't know. Okay, so I guess I'm going back down a ways. Key. There we go. The pressure is too high. Look out! Ooh, hey. 10 wickerlings for this. What happens here? Okay. I'm not sure I like the look of that. Alrighty, got some fruit for delivering a little mail. Oh, hey, look at that. I cleared a shorter path to here. Now we get to some significant pinball action. Oof. Oh, hey, it's our friend that saves us from, you know, getting damaged by the spikes. Even if only once. Come on, I'm trying to get that. Yeah. Alright, now I gotta get up to the part that opened up when I got the crystal thingies. There we go. Oh, really? Okay, so that gave me a slug. And now I can use the slug to break one of the things there. There we go. Alright, that one got me a wickerling. Ooh, hello. Bunch of fruit there. Nope, I need to be down here. No. Okay. I'm like, they're not gonna both make each other explode, will they? I hope not. And no. Did not happen. Dang it. Now I gotta get another one. Come on. There we go. Hiya! Another snail. Or is it a slug? Snail, slug, eh. Pretty similar. There we go. That's what I really needed. Kablam. Nope. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm back here again. Well, at least I don't have to, like, break anything else. I can just do that. And yeah. Nope. Haha. Saved it. Nope. Dang, that's a lot of fruit there. Oh my gosh. There we go. No. Oh, come on. How did that not work? Okay, there we go. Okay. Opened up another path. Okay, I think I blocked the, I guess it's a geyser. Whatever was building up all that pressure. Hey, look at that. All night long. Toot the noisemaker 100 times. Oh, so that wasn't even... It's not like that was for, It's not like that was for unlocking the little spots there, or whatever. So where do I go now? These kind of don't seem to really want to let me... Nope. So, what do I do? And I'm so close to where I need to go, too. Maybe? Okay. That's how you do it. Hold up, does that mean there's more down here? Nope, okay. The pressure is too high. The underbelly is about to blow. And when it does, it's gonna take the hideout with it. My troops are ready to hop on in, but they can't do it on their own. You gotta get in there and do something about the pressure. You heard the boss. It's time to jump. Let's move it. Geronimo! Nope. That's not helpful. Normally those things would kind of like suck me in a way. Oh, I gotta... Okay. Okay, broke that too. Alright, now that's open. Oh, hey. It's like I got sort of a multi-ball thing going on here. Oh, that's how I'm supposed to... Okay. I got you now. Doggone it. How did I do that twice in such quick succession? Didn't quite hit that hard enough. Okay, there we go. Alright. You come on through. Okay. Now it's time to let another one through. Oh, hold up. No. Yeah, there we go. Hey, what's going on in there? It's getting hotter. Okay, so what? Do I just, like, do that again? Pretty much. Doesn't seem like there's much of anything else I can do here, so yeah. I would guess that's what I've got to do. come on. Get me up there. There we go. This is out of control. Really? Another time? And now there's 4 of them. 4 spots I need to, like, stop up or whatever. Whoa, that was a lot of stuff that just came out of there. Come on. Okay. Now I can maybe bring the last 2 on in here. Okay, having 2 of them in there almost kind of messes me up a bit. Dang it, I keep forgetting to do the second thing there. Come on. There. Really? Hip. Hip. Okay. Last one. Here we go. Anybody else make noises like that when playing pinball games and the like? Where it's like, I don't know. I guess you make a sound just to put extra emphasis on wanting something to happen. That's a lot of fruit up there. And something else that I'm not quite even sure what it is. Come on. Really? Oh, that other thing that's up there is just the spot that I hit a bunch of times to make all that fruit appear. Duh. There we go. Can't hold much longer. It's gonna blow. That was a close one. For a minute, I thought both our hams were gonna get steamed. Get out of there. Let's talk. Also, I have no clue if this character is supposed to be male, female, any of that kind of stuff. That was a close one. Come on, I've had enough of this steamy dump. Let's talk in the hideout. Talk to Spina at the hideout. Oh, okay. And shortcut to the hideout. Got pretty toasty there for a minute. Thank you, friend. The entire Skull Gang would have been knee-deep in hot soup if it wasn't for you. Now, you had a letter for me? Ooh. This is real bad. The entire island will be done for unless we can find out what's wrong with Mokuma. I'll leave for the village straight away. If you need to get back there as well, the beeline is the fastest way. It'll cost you some fruit to activate, but it's well worth it. You'll find a hop on the left balcony. I better hustle now. I'll see you back in the village, Beetle. It got a bit too hot for me in there. Those skullgangers are a crazy bunch. Now that we found the first one, we just have 2 more chiefs to go. Let's not waste any time. Nim is counting on us to save Mokuma. Okay then. Beeline is the fastest way to get around the island. 100 fruit. Jeez Lou. I hope that's like a one-time... Or like you only have to pay it one time in the entire game. And not like every time you would want to use it. Oh, I have to hold A in this case. Yeah, then it definitely seems like... Because you use the fruit to make the thing that... Yeah. What? I don't get it. Ride the beeline. I'm trying to ride the beeline, but it's not really doing anything. Oh. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, wait. There's somebody there I need to talk to. Or is there? What does that even... Okay, so you got Sal in the Underdark. That's where I am. Did I ever even find that toolbox? I'm not so sure I did. But while I'm close by, I might as well, you know, check on some things here. Hello. Oh, so maybe this is where the toolbox is. We fungoids get treated like second-class citizens around here. Would you consider yourself above such unwarranted prejudice? Quiet, you. Excellent. So let's see you prove it by helping us out. We've been looking to get our spores to the perfect spot. We think the cliffs up above Mokuma would do nicely. Here, take these spores. We'll give you a reward once you've planted them above. Spores want to grow above Mokuma's pit. Toolbox belongs to Sandro, the island's fixer. Right. Return to the Island Express. I mean, I could do that while I'm right here. Where is... Bring the toolbox to stand. Okay. Oh, hey. Definitely looks nicer in there now. Welcome back, Postmaster. The overdue packages are on the table. Squawk! Ooh, and what is this? Grand Postmaster's badge. May the mail always get through and the wind always be at the back of the Grand Postmaster. Take the Grand Postmaster's badge? Yes? Squawk! Hands off! That badge belongs to the Grand Postmaster. You still have a lot of duties to complete before you may claim that title. Okay, fine. Oh. I can only take one overdue package at a time? Ugh. Okay. So Treek is that way. What about, doggone it, I keep doing that now. Sin is there. Honestly, they all seem to be pretty close to the beginning. That one does not. Okay. So, tell you what, I'm about to head back that way to Sandro. Might see about either Treek or Sin while I'm on the way. Alright, that was just where to find Mokuma. Oh, hey, you're here. Wow, Godslayer really did a number on Mokuma. What's even worse is no one saw it happen. When I say no one saw it, I mean it. This place is usually crawling with snitches. If someone knew something, I'm sure they'd be anxious to spill the beans. Which means we don't have a clue where the Godslayer is hiding. Or in what guise. Until we know more, everyone's a suspect. So stay on your toes, Postman. You should get on with finding the other chiefs. If the old one takes a nosedive, none of us will want to be around for the splash. Nope. Okay. Right. I'm headed down here to, hand in the toolbox, right? My toolbox! Excellent! Stand back and I'll get the bridge repairs done. That was fast. Bridge as good as new. Give it a try. Of course, this way only leads up to the Ivory Peaks. Nothing but snow and space monks up there. Why are there 2 checkpoints along there? Seems kind of odd. Oh, hello. Please don't be afraid. I am not the one responsible for this. I am Dipperloaf, guardian of those too small to protect themselves. The tragedy struck fast. An evil creature was upon us before I could do anything. Then only darkness. When I awoke, I was maimed terribly and wearing the brand of the Godslayer. Worst of all, the little ones. I sit here now and weep forever for my lost friends, my broken trunk rotting with sorrow. Ivory Peaks. I was gonna say, I don't seem to have an easy way of getting up there, but never mind, yes I do. Okay, hold up, what? Okay, that's like a slug making thing, I think. Nope, wasn't supposed to do that. There we go, kaboom. Okay, now I need another slug, though. Okay, go over here, and then... there we go. Whoa, hello. That sent me pretty far. Wickerling. Dirty fruit for that. Tunguska's Lighthouse and Sootling Sanctuary. Ivory Peaks Trail. Oh yeah, I still haven't done the thing. I still haven't gone over there. I should probably go over there first. If I can. I mean, I think I've been there before. Does that mean anything in particular, moving that? I don't know. Okay, that doesn't really seem to do anything now. Now I'm probably doing stuff like out of order from how it's supposed to be done. Or I don't know. Hey, more fruit. Okay, so I got that up there. I guess he has something new to say? What is this? An intact egg? Knowing that at least one of the little ones got away is like sun on my heartwood. You have my ancient gratitude for returning it. I will use all of my remaining energy to nurture this into a life. Okay. Yay. At least some positive stuff. Whoa, that was quite a fall. Okay, Sin should be somewhere near here, right? Nope. Oh, Sin's up there, and I just, like, kind of missed that as I was doing the other stuff. I see you found some mushrooms. What a treat. Okay. Nothing new there. Oh. I could maybe... Nope. Don't even have access to that beeline. Not at all. Okay, then. I guess that means if I'm truly going to deliver that package to Sin, I need to... get back up to where I fell from, and then, like, fall from there again, but better. There's nothing else here, really? Maybe I should have gotten the package for Teak or whatever the other one's name is. Okay, seems pretty clear I can't go around that way. Where does this go? Oh, more stuff that I really don't need to be doing. Okay, and that puts me back up there. Great. I don't think there's really anything I need to do in here either. Okay. So where exactly am I supposed to go from here? How do I even get, like, much of anywhere important from here? Maybe like this. Oh, wow. Surprising depth of water here. Well, this is something new. But also seemingly something I can't really do right now. Because that just puts me up there, and that just does that. Which is like nothing. Looked away from the screen for a sec, and didn't realize that I was like heading back up the one thing that I was trying to get off of. Okay, so now there's this. I'm gonna need a slug to break that. 80 fruit for that. At least it's something. Hey. Got a little bit of fruit back from breaking that. There's a slug that I totally just botched retrieving. I held right trigger there. I guess I just pressed it too soon. Okay. So then, up here. Da-da. Da-da, kaboom. Da-da, da-da. Treasure. Lots of fruit. And a wickerling. But that's about it. But still, that and the other section there were all just underneath the spot where, at least I think that's where the one thing that was blocking the way was before. Like the one water serpent thing that wanted the mushroom. I forget what its name was. And Slug Gardener has more than a professional affection for really. Oh, since I'm all the way over here. Another wickerling. Is there anything else in this cave type area? Nope. there anything else over this way? Huh. Hey there, dung beetle. You do not usually get many visitors out here on the reef. I reckon there be more than one unfortunate soul gone aground and lost its treasures in these waters. Probably still down there. Oh, really? Treasure down there, you say? Oh, this is getting deep and dark. I'm not sure I like that. And it won't let me go any further away from the island than that. Another wickerling. Okay, what happens if I keep going down? I don't think I can go down any further. I don't think it'll let me go anywhere else, basically. Okay. Fine. Perhaps I need some other ability to explore the dark depths. Alright, so what all do I have to do? So there's finding sound in the Underdark. There's delivering the overdue packages. I'm still not sure what that symbol's all about. But anyway, Gorilla Woods. Beeline. Oh, man. I don't have enough fruit for the beeline. Probably. Unless this one's less expensive for some reason. Nope. It's 100 fruit. Just like the other one. Well, phooey. Oh yeah, sootlings. That whole thing. That leads back up to the village. Or I could head back over in that direction, I guess. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. I think I'm just gonna go this way. You. Looking for fruit bubbles. Remember that they come from all sorts of places. If I had a horn like yours, I'd honk it at anything that stands out. Yeah, whatever. Nope. Doggone it. Okay. And I didn't even get the wickerling there, but oh well. Not a big deal. Oh, geez. That's not where I expected that to take me. But okay. At least now I have another shot at getting the wickerling. And now I don't. I mean, still kind of do, but anyway. What is this? Where is this going to take me? Oh, back up there. So wait, where am I supposed to be going in the midst of all this? Like, specifically this bit of, you know, pinballing, I mean. Seems like there might be something over there way to the right like that. Yeah. Okay. Jeez. Okay, so that was the Slug Garden Meadow. I've already been there. I don't need to go back there. There's water here. Nothing in the water. Okay. Just making sure. Now what? Oh, hold up. That's probably how I'm supposed to go back. Okay. I definitely don't need to be doing that stuff. So then how do I get to where I need to go for, you know, all the things? And why is that still blocked off? Okay. Well, I guess I'm going this way. And then I guess I go up through here. trying to get over to the right there. But, like, I can't seem to... There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Thank you. Good grief. Okay, then we go up here. Up to Mokumana Village, left to the juicery. Am I... Will it let me have another chance at the juicery? So yeah, that definitely seems to be a no. Okay, I definitely remember some of this bouncing around here. Mokumana Village, once again, is up. But what's over here? Ivory Peaks. That would be where I was a little while ago. Oh, hey, look at that. The egg is hatched, I guess. The egg has hatched, and from it emerged Chomp. The birth of the tiny critter has set me abloom once more. Please, Beetle, accept this as a token of my gratitude. Whoa, jeez. Okay. Lots of fruit, and what is this? Got a bauble overflowing with red paint. It looks morbid. But still, I assume that's a red paint thing that I'm supposed to give to whoever the paint person was. Okay. Interesting. 80 fruit for that. Let's send a little mail here. Hello. Who might you be? Tunguska. Those wicked sootlings have gone to hiding. They work hard in the mines and drag home all sorts of filth. It's time for their bath, but they saw it coming and hid from me. Won't you help me find my sootlings? There are 6 sootlings hiding upstairs. I'll keep the tub warm while you look for them. Help me out and I'll have a nice reward for you. And who are these other people? Hey Beetle, how are you? Sorry. Hey Beetle, are you here for the pilgrimage? We're just about to set out. We're gonna climb the Ivory Peaks and visit the Space Monk Temple. I'm Tylo. The overdressed one is Jamja, who's a bit overly concerned about the cold up there. The big quiet one is Ohm. Don't worry, though. Ohm is very friendly. Anyways, we'll be off in a bit. Join in if you want to. We'll be on the pilgrim's path marked by the red ribbons. We haven't got any extra gear, but if you talk to Tunguska, the lighthouse keeper, I'm sure something can be arranged for you. Nope, can't just break through there. Alrighty. And there's a rock in the way of that. Alright. Most of the sootlings have decided to go elsewhere, except for that one. Do I just have to hit it a certain number of times? so I hit it 3 times, and then I guess I catch it like that. Okay, there's that. Ah, so close. There we go. That's quite a bit of fruit. Alright. Oh, jeez. Okay. No. Oh well. Seems like it was only a little bit of fruit that I lost there. Uh-huh. Finally got me a slug. I can use to break one of the big black things there. Alrighty. Another slug. No. How am I supposed to get that slug? Dang it. Okay. Other slugs. That should be helpful. At least more helpful, I would imagine. Okay, now if I could just get to that one other... There we go. Nice. Okay. Is that all the sootlings? Yep, that's 6 of them. Cool.
Brune sent me here to watch the skies. We'll be launching our spaceship soon. The low wind force and blue skies indicate perfect launch conditions. I just hope they manage to sort out the engine trouble before the launch window closes.
Okay, so... Yeah, now I gotta go... back down to Tunguska. Because I've gotten the 6 sootlings, they just need to go down there for their baths. Oh hey, treasure! With fruit. And... you got the sootling leash. So Old Leash identifies you as a friend of the sootlings. Interesting. Find your own sootling. And now I can go in that way. Cool, cool. Hello. Oh. Don't look very sooty now.
Look at these fluffy and adorable sootlings. How could I ever stay mad at them? I can tell that you respect the sootlings, so as thanks for your help, I want you to have my old sootling leash. Take it with you to the sootling habitat in Frost Pine Forest. With the leash in hand, the sootlings will guide you on your journey up the Ivory Peaks. At least there would have been, but you've already helped yourself to it, haven't you? So consider that your reward.
I was like, wait, didn't I already get a leash?
The space monks are planning to leave for the moon pretty soon. Me and the sootlings will be watching the takeoff from the top floor balcony. I hope the launch will be a success.
Okay, and I guess that's all I do here. Or at least in that particular, like, house building area thing. Oh, man. Oh yeah, I guess I could go over that direction. Have not been over that way yet. No, okay. I don't know why for some reason I thought that looked a little bit like a fruit bubble. Warning, Obtainium shoot ahead. I'm wondering how the properties of this Obtainium compare to the, wasn't the one substance in the Blue People Avatar movie, wasn't that called Unobtainium? Just saying. What is this all about? Oh. So, like, how far could I possibly ride that up? I'm not even meant to ride it up, am I? Okay, whatever. Hey, what's going on down there? Why is no one answering my calls? The sootlings must be slacking again, and the floating obtainium is spilling out into the air. I don't know who's down there, but you're gonna have to get both hatches shut pronto. Everyone will get their hams warm if we miss another shipment, so hurry up. Huh. I guess maybe I can't go that way. Yeah, that still doesn't seem like the way to do that. Okay. Well, there's that. Okay, but you know what? I actually kinda sorta feel like wrapping this up. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little tired. I've got a little bit extra to do tomorrow, too. Would be nice to have a bit more time today to, do some of the editing and whatnot that I would normally try and do tomorrow. So, yeah, kind of thinking I might wrap up the stream there. Apologies if, it's a bit shorter than normal / expected. But yeah, oh man. I just feel like in general I've kind of been, going a bit more as of late. Might need to, take the advice of some of the Bible verses that we read a little earlier today and, take some time to rest and relax. Take it easy a bit more. But also maybe do some of the other stuff that I would try and do later so I'm not, cramming it into my schedule later on than that. So anywho, yeah, I guess that's going to do it for this week. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for another live stream soon. Feel free to check out any of my videos in the meantime. Whatever the case is, till next time, stay cool, everybody.